And joining us during this half hour, Mike Shnaekel is going to be with us on the Dave Elswick Show. And Mike, thank you for coming in. I told you we could have done this by phone, but you said, nope, I want to come into the studio and do it. So I'm appreciative. I always think interviews are better face-to-face than, me being here in front of the microphone and you being somewhere else on a telephone. So why, with all of the craziness that is going on in the Republican Party of Arkansas, do you want to be chairman of the zoo?
Well, first, Dave, I just want to say thank you for having me in. Yeah. And I think it's important to be present. And, once I'm elected to be the chairman, I expect to be in the office every day or conducting the business of the RPA every day. What made me throw my hat in and say I need to get involved in this was, some of the outcomes out of the convention. We'll start all the way back to Pulaski County, 2.5 years ago when they wasn't seated at the convention. That time is kind of where you start seeing the disconnect between the RPA and what I'll call the electors of Arkansas. And then we move on to this previous convention that we just had in June. And after that convention, we had a very successful convention where we had 2/3 of the electorate at that convention vote overwhelmingly for rules changes within the RPA.
Dude, I was so excited after the convention was over because I really saw some movement within the Republican Party of Arkansas for what I thought was the good of the party. And then the establishment part of the party, the people who on the executive committee, the chairman, have done everything in their power to, kind of delegitimize everything that happened back in June.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dave. I think everyone that left there that day felt like we had accomplished the good business of Arkansas and the citizens of Arkansas. Because I know coming out of my committee, Hot Spring County Committee, we passed resolutions prior to the convention that basically said for all of our delegates that was going to the convention, this is how we expect you to vote. And this is what we expect of you as our delegates going into the convention. And we carried that out to a T at the convention. And that convention, I'm not going to say I walked out of there on cloud 9, but it was pretty positive. And I think we had done, because there's going to be a lot of talk about the legislators and their involvement. I feel like we relieved a lot of stress from the legislators at that, because they have a job to do. They're working on laws, they're working on the business of Arkansas, cutting our taxes, making sure that we're able to move forward as a state and be a leader in the United States as a state. And party issues, let's take that off of their plate, so they're not worried about conducting the business of every electorate in Arkansas within their daily business. But you don't have that responsibility to the RPA. While we want you to be involved, you don't have that requirement that, hey, you need to be at all these meetings. We want you to do your business we elected you to do. We'll do everything to make sure you stay elected and you stay efficient in what you're doing. And we'll stay connected with our county committees. And in those county committees, we'll relay that information between you because we have that opportunity to talk to our elected officials as the local county committees are established to do.
From what I understand, in most states, the elected officials are not part of party mechanisms, so to speak. Neither are they in the national party.
That's correct. They're ex officio, and RNC is very clear with that also. While they're members of the party, they are non-voting members of the party. And in Arkansas, we talk about being this really clear red state, and we are a red state. We are overwhelmingly a Republican state. But you've got to keep in mind, when we transitioned in that 2010 time period, did we transition because we had hard red Republicans, or did we transition because we had Democrats that felt like they could no longer be elected anymore, and they needed to put that R in front of their name to become elected? And that falls down on the county committees also, because what the state is doing right now is they're basically trying to say, hey, county committees, we want to remove all your responsibilities from you guys and transition that all to the RPA at the state level.
Yeah, they're trying to centralize everything.
Absolutely, and I think that is a bad move. Whether you be the chairman of the party or you be an executive committee member, the county committees are the most important tool we have in our tool bag in this state, because they are closest. They know the businesses in that county. They know the members of that county. They're out in the public holding signs. We're at the fairgrounds. We're at the election stations getting our candidates elected. So we're dealing with the public every single day, and we have the ability to transition that information from the public to our legislator. But to take the power away from your county committees is absolutely, I think, is a bad move right now. And you're seeing that. And you're seeing it not just with taking the power away. They're attempting to dissolve committees at this time. And I think that is absolutely the wrong thing to be doing. If you have an internal issue in that county, it needs to be dealt with internally. And the rules state very clearly how you go about doing that. Now, if it's a chairman issue that you're having within the county committee, then it goes to the state for the state to deal with. You know, a complaint gets filed with the state, Article 7 complaint, and you go from there. But our county committees, we need to be strengthening our county committees versus weakening our county committees, because they are who gets people elected. I didn't see, and I'm not going to talk bad about anyone, I didn't see anyone outside of a handful of county committees that were out running elections on a daily basis, that were making videos, picking up the phone, calling other states, saying, hey, look, we're going to vote Donald Trump in Arkansas. We need to be focused on Ohio, Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and working on these swing states. You just didn't see that out of our elected officials at the RPA level and executive committee level, while our counties were hammering the message every single day.
If you're elected chairman, what will you do to heal the rift that has occurred? Because there is a definite rift now in the Republican Party of Arkansas. What can you do to heal that rift?
Well, I think the first thing you do is, day one, you stand up a committee and say, hey, look, I want to investigate, you know, because the complaint right now is that there wasn't timely submitted motions for the convention. I think you go in and you say, okay, look, let's look at all the emails, all the timely submitted submissions, and we stand back up the convention again. I think it is our duty to give Jennifer Lancaster the delegates list to stand up the convention again so she can properly close the convention. You know, the electorates were never in trouble, and that was a big contention that the electorate was in trouble, or the electors was in trouble for Donald Trump. But I think that convention needs to finish the business of the convention and close that convention. And then secondly, you've got to go back in and say, hey, look, county committees, I know we have kind of chucked you guys off to the side. We want you to be a part of this. We want you to be involved on our day-to-day business. Legislators, we want you guys to be involved too, but we've got to move together as one. We can't be beating each other up in social media. We can't be tearing each other down, and it's a small portion of people that is doing the tearing down while others are trying to build. You've got to be a builder day one, and you've got to say, okay, time out, enough is enough. We come in, we sit in this room, and we don't leave until we agree to disagree or we move forward. Because right now the party has got to move forward, or we're going to start losing. But we're going to start losing positions.
Okay, I didn't ask Margot this question, and I should have, and I apologize. I'll give her a call and try to get that information next time I'm on the air. Let you know. But bottom line is, you know, how do you deal with an executive committee that has made itself very well known that they kind of thumb their nose at the grassroots of the party?
Well, I'll repeat some conversations I've had with some of the executive committee. Mike, these new people just don't know what they're doing. We've been doing this 15, 20 years. They're going to go away. You know, just stick firm. That we're not going away. We are.
It's kind of funny they've been telling you that, and you're one of the grassroots.
Yeah, it's just we're not going away. We have got to move on from this current executive committee that's there. You know, in the election, you're going to elect a chair, vice chair, second vice chair, secretary, and treasurer, and those members will be on the executive committee, and the others, you know, as Margot stated earlier, are ex officio members, and many of the people that come from other committees. You've got to sit down and say, hey, look, guys, we have a rule book. We need to follow the rules. And if you just follow the rules, everything else is easy. A chairman's position is not a dictatorial position. It's a leadership position that you say, hey, look, I'm available to you, but try to work your differences out before you get to me, and follow the rules that we have set forth in the RPA, and everything else is easy after that.
That's kind of a Robert's Rules of Order position, is it not?
It absolutely it is. I mean, and I think in that position, you know, there's a lot of leadership that goes with that, because I think you do need to visit the county committees. I think you do need to be involved in the day-to-day business. You need to go to the Capitol. You need to have a relationship with everyone that's elected, but your number one priority in life should be that relationship with your county committees and your district committees to ensure that they're successful. And if we've got county committees that's 5 and 7 strong, we need to be growing those committees, and that needs to be done, you know, with all the assistance that they can be given. So there is a lot of roles that I think the chairman automatically inherits that's just not getting done right now. And I know under my leadership that's an easy deal. I have no problem going anywhere, and that was one of the reasons I decided to be here personally, because I think it's important. If you're going to do something, you be present and available. And if I have enough of respect for you, Dave, that I didn't want to do this over the phone. Yeah, it's an hour drive for me back and forth, but that's nothing. This is more important than anything else I have going on in my life right now, is to see our state move forward as the conservatives we are, as the Christians we are, and as the Republicans we are.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll finish up with Mike Shnaekel here on the Dave Elswick Show, and here's some more things that he has to say. I'll ask him about where's the lawsuit and what's going on with that, see if he has any information on that as well when we return on the Dave Elswick Show. Don't forget about East End Towing. They're your lifeline out there on the highway. Make no doubt about it. They've got the right size tow truck to deal with whatever car you have. If you got a smart car, you know, they may send out a battery operated car to bring you in. It was a joke, wasn't really good, so just give me grace. Bottom line is, they got small tow trucks for the small cars, and they've got tow trucks that are big enough that they can tow 18-wheelers and Class C 1 trailers as well that many of you drive on vacation. So whatever you need, they've got the equipment to deal with it. They've got the people who have been trained to deal with it, so that they can tell you no matter the situation that the folks at East End Towing can handle it, and they've got all the answers. The other thing I wanted to remind you is that you get up in the morning, you're getting ready to leave, you go out in the garage, and let's say one of your tires is flat. Instead of you having to get all dirty changing the tire, if you call East End Towing, they got roadside assistance. They'll come to your house and help you. Or if you break down at Wally World, they'll come out and change the battery, things of that nature for you at that time as well. All you need to do is call them, and that's 501-888-8849, 501-888-8849, where anything, anytime, or anywhere means East End Towing.
Do you own an annuity? You know, based on recent changes, you could upgrade your annuity and get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. It's true. It could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. Learn more by calling David Lucas Financial in North Little Rock at 501-382-8800. If you currently own an annuity, discover how you could get 40% more income, tax-deferred growth, and pay fewer fees and expenses. This upgrade could add up to tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. And it won't cost you a dime. Call 501-382-8800. 501-382-8800.
Investment advisory services are offered through David Lucas Financial, an Arkansas registered investment advisor. Arkansas Insurance License number 161527743. Pat Davis, your health plan man, has some exciting news. He's bringing you an advanced, affordable, wearable patch. But this isn't just any patch. These patches use the light of your body to stimulate master cells that become dormant as we age. People are seeing incredible results with both chronic and temporary pain relief. There's also opportunities for you to make extra income with these patches. Call Pat now, 855-600-WAVE. That's 855-600-WAVE.
The Your Daily Prayer podcast provides timeless truths from God's Word to guide you through every day. Prayers for your hardest days and happiest ones. Prayers for when you wake up and when you lay down. We want to help you experience a richer prayer life today. Download Your Daily Prayer podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Or go to yourdailyprayer.com. That's yourdailyprayer.com.
Hear Congressman Hill and Westerman every Wednesday morning at 7 during the Dave Elswick Show on 101.1 The Answer, where Little Rock comes to talk.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-839-8484, 800-839-8484, 800-839-8484.
The Dave Elswick Show is back. 101.1 The Answer.
All right, let's finish up our discussion. Mike Shnaekel, he wants to be chairman of the RPA. There's a lawsuit that is hanging over the RPA and other people that are members of that lawsuit, waiting to have a judge, and I hate that it had come to this, to stop the RPA from doing some of the things that they've been doing towards the convention that occurred in June. Any words that you can give us about that? How do you feel about it, etc.?
Well, first thing I want to say is I think I'm the only candidate that's running right now that has reached out to the members of that are party to that lawsuit. And I've spoke with several members that are a party to that lawsuit: Jennifer Lancaster, Randy Sims, Jimmy Caven. I can't remember everyone that's on it, but I've spoke with several of them. And I think that's a first week deal that we get ironed out, with the convention that I spoke about earlier, getting the delegates back together and reseating that convention. And I think that lawsuit dissolves itself within the people who have filed the lawsuit under my direction and leadership. That'll be an easy thing. And, and I would be remiss if I missed something. Monday morning, the RPA is attempting to unseat Jennifer Lancaster as the District 2 chairman and remove her from the Republican Party, and we plan on being at the Capitol Monday morning at the governor's office around 9 o'clock. So I would encourage everyone that really is looking at the RPA right now and saying, hey, look, hit the pause button until after this election, because there may be some changes after December 7th. And I think they really need to hit the pause button forever on dissolving county committees, removing members of the RPA, and this lawsuit. And I think the lawsuit was necessary, because if you have someone that basically says, hey, look, the will of the body, which is the convention is the ruling body of the RPA, when that body says, hey, look, we've enacted these measures and these rule changes, and then an executive committee says, no, you don't. I think it's the duty of Jennifer Lancaster as the convention chair to perform those duties. And if you want to talk about removing members of the RPA because of actions detrimental to the RPA, I think you really need to look at the executive committee when it comes to that, and possibly even our state chairman, because they are definitely not abiding to the rules that are set by the RPA, and a lawsuit is absolutely necessary. And I think every member of the convention should have signed on that, you know, and I wanted to sign on that. There's reasons that I didn't, but I think everyone should be a party to that lawsuit because we were all disenfranchised very quickly after the election.
Well, I'm part of that lawsuit. All right, I was asked if I wanted to be part of it. I've gotten a lot of guff because of it, and as I tried to explain to the people I talked to, I've gone along with what the party has said about open primaries since I got here in 2000. And I've always lost in the vote when the convention got together. And so I went along with the vote. Well, this last time, my side won. And now we're being told by the other side it didn't count. And I'm saying to that other side, you're wrong, and you're thumbing your nose at the people in the Republican Party.
Well, the thing is, it's not even an other side. It's 12 people, 16 people. That is what we're considering that side that has absolutely said the will of the people is not what we're after, and the support of the people is not what we're after. We do not represent the electorate of the RPA, and now they're asking for you to come back and vote them again to be back in those same seats and remain members of the executive committee. And I find that quite laughable at this point where someone talks about my leadership over the last year and a half has resulted in this. Your leadership over the last year and a half has resulted in the darn near destruction of the Republican Party of Arkansas. And we did lose a seat in this last election within the legislature. That don't sound like anything right now, but hey, 2 years from now, is that 5 seats? In 4 years, is that 10 seats? 6 years, is that control? I mean, you really have got to pay attention. While the wind shifts in minor changes initially, the storm is on its way. And the storm isn't the Democrats. The storm is within the Republican Party, and that is us. And if we do not get this train back on the track, and we don't get this train back on the track soon, we're done. We're done in the state. You are going to lose people that want to be involved in the Republican Party. We're seeing it now. People that are not wanting to be involved in the Republican Party of Arkansas because of what has happened since the state convention. You know, and even the grassroots Republicans, I mean, they're beating themselves to death right now within the party and within the grassroots for no reason at all.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Okay, well, I appreciate you, Mike, for coming in and making yourself comfortable and talking to us here on the Dave Elswick Show. I'm out of pocket next week, so I won't be here when you all meet and vote on this. But I'll be in touch with people. I'll know what's happening.
Hey, Dave, I just want to say thank you for having me on, and thank you for being a part of the lawsuit, because it took a lot of people with backbone to say, yeah, I'll sign on that, because everyone who signed on to that lawsuit is taking it in the shorts right now. So
yeah,
thank you.
We're paying a price.
Yes,
There's no doubt about it.